Harihi, Harihi, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Harihi Om Tat Sat. I feel like telling you that spiritual pursuit is actually an inner pursuit. What does it mean? It is a pursuit solely resting upon the mind and intelligence. Mind is the source of a variety of emotions, attitudes. The attitude the mind generates and preserves, and the objective or aim the intelligence has. These two alone are shaping our action. An action by itself is only a movement. It is a movement of the limbs, parts of the body. Chalanatmakam hi karma. Any act or activity is nothing but movement. It is the same organs that move and cause different activities. If it is all the movements of the same organs, then what is the difference in the activity or acts? The attitude and aim which you fire into the movement, imbue the movement with, that is what makes the difference. So what is that one attitude which I can infuse my mind with? What is that one objective or aim I can make my intelligence always preserve and pursue? Can you focus on these two words? Attitude and aim. Attitude and aim. The surgeon uses knife, uses so many other gadgets to deal with the human body. He cuts, splits, aspirates, removes some organs, stitch and all that. All these are using various sharp instruments and doing their work. But it is not called any kind of a cruel act or an act of enmity. At the same time, if a person comes and stabs you with a knife, it becomes different. What is the difference? It is in the attitude and the aim. The surgeon does it to remove some infection or set right a disorder and enable you to live and move with the maximum quality of life. But in the other, a man comes and stabs you out of enmity to harm you, to destroy you. The difference is only in aim and attitude. So can you develop an attitude, a very good and great noble attitude which should govern all your actions, and can you also incorporate a great grand aim in whatever you do? Yes, there can be. They both can be. But you will have to deliberate in your own mind. And that deliberation has to be always active and alive. This is where you succeed or lose. Do any activity whatsoever, there can be one great attitude governing it, one aim which is linked to it. Find out what is that aim and what is the attitude, then you succeed in life. Our Shastras are teaching you only this. Only this. Whatever you do is an offering to God, or it is in conformity with nature, It is in conformity with the wheel of creation and activity. The entire world is full of activity. Full of activity. There is nothing in the universe which is stationary still. Everything is moving, vibrating. So there is no scope for inactivity at all. So be active and conform to the dictates of nature, the nature of nature, the purpose and course of nature. This is one. Whatever activity you do, it is in conformity with nature. And what is the aim? The aim is to fulfill nature alone. None of us is born because we wanted to be born. There are some people who will say, I don't want to be born again. As if you are now born because you wanted. Want started building up in our mind after you were born, several years after growth. You did not want your birth. Your birth was caused, if at all, by your parents. By your parents. Not by any other factor. The parents were male and female, masculine and feminine. This division is brought about by nature. The passage of time is behind everything. So it was passage of time that brought our birth. It is passage of time that makes the body survive. And the passage of time will also make the body fall. This is what Krishna tells Uddhava. The scene is very, very significant. Krishna had already lived for 125 years, 5 years more than what is allotted for the humans. Even then he was quite happy and harmonious. Ordinary people will start murmuring at 60, grumbling. Krishna did not grumble at all. He was always happy, jubilant, harmonious. 5 years he had taken extra. And he was in no mood apparently to depart. So Brahma came personally with his followers and standing on the air, he was submitting a memorandum to Krishna, saying, Dear Lord, you have come to fulfill some special missions. All of them have been fulfilled. We are waiting for you. The chair on which you sit, that is still vacant. Please come back and occupy the seat. We are all impatient. Krishna smiled and said, he was seated in Dwaraka, what you say is right. I have fulfilled all my obligations. But there is one item which is left. That is the destruction of my own family lineage. Are you listening to me? Will any one of you think like this? Do you know of anyone who thinks like this? By my birth and exploits, excellences, my lineage, my family has become very proud. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. The Vrishnikula, which was never known to be anybody or anything, suddenly sprang into a world fame because of Krishna's birth and excellences. When I am there, they are obliged to listen to me. But the moment I leave, they will not be listening to anybody. Nobody can oppose them also. They are very powerful. After my departure, what will happen? Like oceans overflowing the boundaries, they will start spreading destruction in the society. to safeguard the society from this calamity, I will bring about their destruction by generating a quarrel between themselves, and they will start fighting with one another and die. Actually, Krishna went to appease them. They started beating Krishna. When he found my own family people are beating me, he said, okay, no more. I am going away. He went and sat underneath a tree, leaning against the trunk. Then a hunter happened to shoot at his foot. He sent word that he was departing to Rukmini and the rest through Daruga, his charioteer. Let that part remain there. Brahma returned. Uddhava was always a confidant of Krishna. Wherever Krishna went, he used to take Uddhava. Uddhava would not question him unnecessarily. He was always available. Krishna used to consult him also. He was Krishna's counselor. Coming to know that Brahma had come and Krishna had decided to depart, Uddhava felt very uneasy. So he went to his Lord and said, you have decided to go and you will. Nobody will be able to stop you. But I am one who cannot keep away from your feet even for half a second. So please take me wherever you go. Wonderful. Can any dying man take another man? Sometimes we hear people are born, twins are born one after the other. Nobody can take another person when he drops his body. Nobody knows where he goes. Often it takes place unconsciously. So Krishna smiled. Any question presented before him, he has wonderful answers. He looked at Uddhava and said, my dear Uddhava, your request is quite in place, I understand. When I leave, you will find it difficult to live. It is true. On the seventh day, the entire Dwaraka will be immersed in the sea. The whole place will not be suitable to live. People will lose their morality and ethics. Misbehavior alone will parade everywhere. So this Dwaraka will not be suitable to live. So the best will be for you, Uddhava, to leave Dwaraka and me while we are yet alive. So the problem becomes mine, not yours. You will be absent and I will be remaining. Where do you go? You go to Ashrama. Make a hermitage between Nara and Narayana mountains and continue to live there. Every day take bath in the holy Alakananda river. Always be bathed in the cool air of Himalayas. Think of me, see me everywhere. The body was born at one time by the passage of time. The same time is passing every moment. And the passage will bring about the death of the body. As the birth took place unawares, the death also will befall unawares. Don't think about it. Remain there. Devotees feel that Uddhava is still living between Nara and Narayana mountains. Why I said this? This is what you have to understand. Our birth is not caused by us. Our death also will not be caused by us. Both are events and outcomes that take place in the passage of time. If at all time brings anything and everything, it takes away also one thing after the other. Allow the time to do its magic and live harmoniously, patiently. Can you have this kind of an attitude? Be up and active till the last breath. Mrityu is like sleep. Every day you die, but next morning you wake up from your sleep. But from the other sleep you will not wake up. That's all the difference. The differences are only till you sleep. Till you sleep. Once you sleep, all the differences are gone. You are neither rich nor poor. You are neither gainful or lossful. You have earned nothing, lost nothing. You have done nothing. You will not have to meet anything. Everything is within the two events, birth and death. Birth and death. Both are not within our control or even knowledge. Then how can life be within our knowledge? So develop an attitude of evenness. Samatva. Samatva. Evenness. This is of the mind, from the mind, for the mind, by the mind. And live comfortably, comfortably, comfortably. Swamiji, I have heard it. You will ask me how to actualize it. My dear souls, I have myself said this many, many times in my life. Not once, but on many occasions. If I am saying this on many occasions, don't you think I am remembering it? I am dwelling on it? I love it? I reflect upon it. Similarly, you should reflect upon this as many times as possible, spending mind hours for the purpose. Then the mind will become like what you say and think. Whatever the mind thinks, that it becomes. If you start thinking in this manner, there will come a time when you are like this. Ya matihi sa gadir bhaved. Whatever the mind assiduously thinks about, that the mind becomes. If you feel I am miserable, you will be miserable. If you feel I am happy and jubilant, you will become so. Every experience rests on the mind. Every mood rests on it. So let the mind think uniformly, evenly, equally, alike. The world has to give only two responses or reactions, sukha and dukkha. Both are so mutual that you will either have both or you will have neither. If you want to have sukha, it comes only after dukkha, and it leads to dukkha. So without dukkha, you cannot have sukha. If dukkha is indispensable for having sukha, if dukkha is indispensable for having sukha, then what is your problem? No problem. Dukkha means I will be having sukha. When I have sukha, I am sure I will have dukkha alone. So sukha follows dukkha, and it also brings dukkha. For every one dukkha, you will have two dukkhas. For every one sukha, you will have two dukkhas. So tell me, what is your problem? Without dukkha, there cannot be a sukha. So why prefer one and abhor another? If at all, welcome both, accept both, be equal in both. Once you start becoming equal in both, where is the trouble then? And the entire world and your life can give only these two. So when you evenize Sukha-dukkhas in your mind, you have evenized the entire world, entire life. Can you imagine what a great, grand position is that? It is the one pedestal which everyone should aspire to reach and rejoice in. That is certainly possible. This is the magic of the mind. This is the mastery of the intelligence. This is the majesty that a seeker can achieve, gain, preserve and excel in. Harihi Om Tas. Harihi Om Tas. Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru, Jaya Guru.